Thank you for planting the seeds for which my generation can sit under the shade, and for my children's generation with the Secret Millionaires Club so that they could sit under the shade. I walk amongst giants.
Go on.
That's all I had.
Don't hold back.
Seriously,
Okay.
Thank you so much for everything you've taught us. How were you able to persuade?
Thank you.
How were you able to persuade your early investors all early on, besides your family and friends, to overcome their doubts and fears and to believe in what you're doing? There's a lot of other asset classes out there, such as a lot of people believe real estate, bonds, gold. How were you able to get over that? And something I've been really dying to ask you.
We didn't do very well until we had a winning record.
Prior to the early winning record, how are you able to get them to buy into what you're trying to do? I mean, no one's ever done what you're doing, and no one has still. And I've been really wanting to ask you, in the past, you said you're 90% Graham and 10% Fisher. Where does that percentage stand today? Thank you again from a grateful student of your teachings, and my children love what you do too. They wrote you a letter.
Thank you. A lot of it, I started selling stocks here when I was 20 years old. I got out of Columbia, and although I was 20, I looked about 16, and I behaved like I was about 12. So I did not make a huge impression selling stocks. I used to just walk around downtown and call on people, which is the way it was done, and then I went to work for Graham. But when I came back, the people that joined me actually, one of my sisters, her husband, my father-in-law, my Aunt Alice, guy I roomed with in college, and his mother, and I've skipped one. But in any event, those people just had faith in me. And my father-in-law, who was a dean at the what was then the University of Omaha, he gave me everything he had, and to quite an extent they all did. And so it was they knew I'd done reasonably well by that time. That would have been 1956. So I'd been investing 5 or 6 years, and actually I was in a position where when I left New York and came back to Omaha, I had about $175,000, and I was retired. So I guess they figured if I was retired at 26, I must be doing something right, and they gave me their money. And then it just unfolded after that. An ex-stockholder of Graham Newman, the president of a college, came out, and Ben Graham was winding up his partnership or his fund, and he recommended me. And then another fellow saw the announcement in the paper that we'd formed a partnership, and he called me, and he joined, and just one after another. And then actually a year or two later, a doctor family called, and they were the ones that ended up with me meeting Charlie. So a lot of stuff just comes along if you just keep plodding along. But the record later on of the partnership attracted money, but initially it was much more just people that knew me and had faith in me. But these were small sums of money. We started with $105,000. Charlie?
Well, of course, that's the way you start. But it's amazing. We've now watched a lot of other people start. And the people that have followed the old Graham Newman path have one thing in common: they've all done pretty well. I can hardly think of anybody who hasn't done moderately.
Yeah, everybody did well. Yeah.
So if you just avoid being a perfect idiot and have a good character and just keep doing it day after day, it's amazing how it will work.
Yeah, it was accident to a significant extent. If a few of those people hadn't have said to me, what should I buy? And I said, I'm not going to go back in the stock brokerage business, but I will, we'll form a partnership, and your fate will be the same as mine, and I won't tell you what I'm doing. and they joined in, and it went from there. But it was not planned out in the least. At zero. I met Charlie, and he was practicing law, and I told him that was okay as a hobby, but it was a lousy business. So he
Fortunately, I listened. It took a while, however.
Yeah.